Hello, everyone, and thank you for assisting to this new webinar. As you can see, these webinars normally are run by Bo. He's doing a big effort on that, and he's every week showing and letting everyone know more about MatrixGold. And every now and then we try to do something a bit different and inviting either dealers or power users that we have around the world with MatrixGold. So we are happy today to announce to everyone that Saeed Mortazavi will be joining us. So first of all, let them say hello. Bo, hello. How are you today?
Hello.
Hey, I'm doing well.
All right, Saeed. Hello. How's everything?
Hello. How are you, Oriol? It's nice to see you again. Hello, Boo.
Yes.
Hey, Saeed.
Thank you.
So, as you know, Bo is the sales rep for all the west part of US. He's a super expert in CAD. He has been working in the CAD department in Stellar for a long time, so he has a lot of knowledge in CAD. So he's a good asset for us to show and sell the software. He will be also helping today with the questions that we have in the chat. And then myself, I'm the product director for Gemvision. I'm looking over the whole software and marketing and everything related to the software. And then Saeed, let me talk a bit about Saeed, and then he will tell you a bit more about him. But when I talk about Saeed, I always like to say that I met him in Dubai back in 2018, and we were panelists for one webinar that we were doing in Dubai. And at the end of that session that we had, I was trying to reach him to say hello. And he's so popular in that area that it was super hard for me to just go there and say, hey, Saeed, how are you? So we are lucky today to have him here. Saeed has been a jewelry designer since 2004. He studied jewelry design in the GIA in Florence, Italy. He has been former design director for Rayton Company. He's the founder and the CEO and design director of the MDA, Mortazavi Design Academy, since 2015. He has 13 years of experience in teaching jewelry design with Rhino, Matrix, and SolidWorks. So he has a lot of experience. He has only 13 international jewelry design awards. So it's a super awarded with jewelry design. And
only 13, huh?
Only 13. This is why I say only. And he has been 5-time jury membership in international jewelry design. So he's not just someone who has a lot of awards in jewelry design. He always has a lot of consideration inside the industry, because as I said, whenever there is any talk to give opinion about jewelry, Saeed is always very well known. He also has been working into jewelry design books about Gemvision Matrix, the version 7 and 9. So this tells you the knowledge that he has about all our software. The other day, me and Bo, we were talking to him. He started to show us the designs that he has been working. And Bo and myself, we said, all right, we have here a long path still to learn, right?
Thank you.
So Saeed, please, I just made this introduction. I don't know if there is anything else that you want to talk about.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me and having me. It's always my honor to work with the Gemvision, the software which we are working more than 10 years, and the most and best software ever. We've worked for jewelry design, everybody knows. Yes, I'm working for 15 or 16 years in jewelry designing. And after 3 years, when I was started, I was start to teaching. And it's something like 12 or 13 years. I used to have more than 3,000 students in these 13 years. They are working in jewelry industry all over the world. And 4 years ago, I opened my own school, which is MDA. And we are very experienced, and I have a very good team. Also, we are working, we are not teaching, We are designing for many companies in Italy, in Turkey, in Iran, for in my team, experienced CAD designers. All of them were my students before. I choose my top students and bring it to my design team.
You know
Yes.
where you can choose from.
Yes.
And just one thing, Said, what was the reason that you start to use the CAD? So you were studying design and then you focused plenty in CAD. Was any reason to do that?
To start with the CAD, using CAD?
Yes, CAD
because
design.
you using the computers always helps the people to do it, to learn it easier and do it easier. You know, if you want to make a jewelry by hand, it's so tough and hard right now. You have to spend a lot of years to learn and also the many days to do it. But computer aided design, CAD softwares always help the people to learn easier, to do easier, and to do more in less time, you know. And also with the digital era right now, with the social medias, internet, using the internet, it's very important to use the computer so you can, especially with the CAD software, especially with Matrix software, Gemvision software, MatrixGold and previous versions, Matrix, you can have a photorealistic image before you make your ring or your jewelry. So you can show it to your customer. If he or she is not satisfied, you can change it without losing any money, you know? And it's a revolution. It was a revolution in the jewelry industry, indeed.
And I can imagine that for people like you that is working for companies, as you said, in Turkey, in Italy, in many different parts around the world, how easy it is to send the designs to them so they can improve it wherever they are.
Exactly.
That's something that you probably wouldn't be able to do it if you wouldn't be working with the CAD software.
Exactly. With the CAD software, you can deliver your design all over the world. You can work with all over the world, and yeah, it made it so easy.
All right, very nice. And then, so what do you think about MatrixGold? Because you have been working a lot with Matrix. Now with MatrixGold, what do you think with the new software that we just released like 2.5 years ago?
Yes, actually, the MatrixGold is a big revolution, a big change from the Matrix 9 M9. We call it M9 and MatrixGold MG, and it's a big revolution because
it's good.
Yeah,
it's good to see that. You see now, Bo, we are always talking about MatrixGold. Now you see an easy way to say it. MG, that's all.
MG, that's all. And you know, it's always very important when you do something in the computer, you can change it after. If you want to change it after in M9, in Matrix 9, because of the Rhino engine, and also because there was a little bit, there was no any dynamic comments. The dynamic comments is very important for every software. So you can open your software, for example, or size of the stones, and it's very important. The user interface, it was for M9, it was a little bit old. Let's say I was working with the Matrix from version 4.1, I think I remember, and of course you remember from M4 to M9, it was a little change, I think so. And the interface, the user interface is more lovely in MG. I love the dynamic commands, so you can change it, you can edit it. Most of the commands, more than 70–80% of the commands right now are dynamic commands. And also the engine of Rhino 6 engine came to the MG instead of Rhino 5, and it's a huge change. And after, I think in the near future, we're gonna have the Rhino 7, which is the best one. And that's all.
Yeah, and look, yeah, you're right. So we are already working with the Rhino 7 version. So even if anyone has Rhino 7, we actually have a beta version, and this is something that is good to mention for MatrixGold. So it's beta. I always like to be very, very clear on that. It's beta. So still there is a few things that are not working as the Rhino 6, that is our official version, and it's the one that we are supporting. But at least people can start to see how has improved Rhino, that is actually our core. And we will have it later this year. So I think that it's important also to know that. And about the dynamic comments, I think that you we're talking about a very good point about this, because I feel like people, companies like you that has multiple designers, multiple users, it's good also to be able to share all these files, because anyone can get these files and make any edit at any time. So once you know MatrixGold and you know how to use the dynamic comments, I think that is super, super useful. Actually, today we have people here listening this conversation, like Roger Kitchens, that he is always someone who's talking about our software, and he's also a power user using all the dynamic comments. And as you said, there is many times that you do a design and then the customer comes later and he says, look, I like it, but I like to change this little thing. Sometimes change this little thing, it's a lot of time, but with the dynamic commands, we have improved this a lot.
Exactly.
All right, then, Saeed, I think that we have been talking and we have seen an overview about who is Saeed Mortazavi and about MatrixGold. And now if you want, you can share your screen and you can show us a bit about how you use MatrixGold.
One quick note for everyone that's attending: if you have any questions for Oriol, myself, or Saeed, please shoot them our way. We'll get to them when we can, but we like to keep the conversation going. So,
all good.
Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Are you seeing?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so today I'm gonna say some important thing about the jewelry which we did, the collection which we did. Some of the sketches and renders, we all always start from sketches, and then we gonna have a 3D print, 3D model in Matrix. I'm going to show you some of sketches which we are working with. Something like we always start from the rough sketches, something like that on the piece of paper. So we are gonna start. So okay, today we are going to start to work with some rectangles or pear shapes or circle. This is the main rough ideas, and then we're going to make it a little more, finalize it, the sketches, and then we do the 3D model and make renders. This is one of the biggest project which we did. There is one book, it's a brochure or catalog, all the models we done in the Matrix and MatrixGold. And also this is the books which Oriol talk about it, these two books which we are converting it to MatrixGold. And as soon as it will be ready, the Gemvision can share it to the Matrix license owners. And some of the designs which I did in the Matrix and MatrixGold, which won awards in the countries like Hong Kong. Also, I did a bookshelf in the Matrix. And actually, it won a silver award in the Italy. And this one was the bookshelf. And this is the plotted 2 meters by 2 meters. And this is the real one with Carpenter did it. And this is the actual bookshelf. It was one of the most lovely thing I did. And yes, we done many models in, this is not the render, this is the models which we made with many color stones, many models. This is the ring which won 2 awards in Italy and Hong Kong, and many models we did in the Matrix since 15 years ago. More than, I think, I didn't count it, but I think more than 20 or 25,000 models we did.
And just one thing, say, do you think that now all these models that you have been showing us, do you see any problem on, because I can imagine that MatrixGold is very new, but a lot of them has been done in Matrix, but do you see any problem on creating these ones in MatrixGold?
It's much more easier to do it in MatrixGold for sure, because of the dynamic comment. Because when you do something and you want to change your mind, you can do it faster. You know what I'm saying? And that's very important. So today I want you to see MatrixGold in action. And I choose a concept which is very important in the jewelry designing. This is which is Mobius strip. Mobius strip is a sort of a strip which, if you have a strip of paper, for example, and you rotate it 180 degrees and connect two edges together, you will gonna have a one side surface. Or if you want, there is no any top and bottom of the surface. So if you start from one edge and you follow the edges from like I do, you will come at the same point again. And
very cool.
One German scientist, Ferdinand Mobius, find it in 1858, but we find some images from the 250 years before the Christ. There was something in the painting. You see, this is the Mobius strip for 2,200 years ago. And many famous designers and brands, famous architect Zaha Hadid, she did Mobius strip in this cuff bangle, and also George Jensen. This is what I did before, and this is the sketches based on the Mobius strip when you twist it. So today I'm going to have this ring. This is with some tricks in MatrixGold. And I'm going to show you how I can do it in the MatrixGold.
I love all the history behind this model. Saeed, I really appreciate that, because it's nice to see also how you get all the inspiration and how you then start to design the model. So thank you for that. It's very, very cool.
Okay. So for the Mobius strip, or for twisted shape things, I'm going to open up the MatrixGold. I didn't change any user interface of the MatrixGold, just some small changes. I just moved the command bar, you know, old-fashioned people. I just moved the command bar from the bottom to the top of the viewports.
Well, so this is one of the cool things about MatrixGold, actually, say that you know, people always is wondering, well, I'm used to the old software, but MatrixGold, one of the peculiarities that it has is that you can move all
yes,
the
you can do, you can,
you
yeah, exactly. You can customize, you can move the windows from the left or right side of the monitor, and you can do whatever you want. But I like the, always I told to my students, don't change anything, because if you go to another company, you want to work, they say, no, you should not, don't change anything, and you should work with this interface. So I'm going to have it on it. Okay, so for every ring, when you want to start the model, the ring, you need the ring rail. So I'm going to start to have a ring rail from the quick comments. When I zooming, is it okay to the people? I use some zoom.
Yeah, it should be. Just kind of go slowly. That way, you know, the screen
Okay,
jump around.
okay,
but yeah,
okay,
it should be fine.
Okay, so I'm going to start to have a ring rail from the quick comments. It's very useful in MG MatrixGold. Click on the ring rail. In here, we're using the EU region. So size, for example, 55 ring rail size is equal to 7 in the EU, in the US. Also, the ring rail is one of the dynamic commands. For the people who doesn't know, there is a icon here, which when you click on it, you can see the dynamic commands. And also, when you see this icon on the top of each command, it's a dynamic command. It means you can change it after, and everything updates. So next step, this ring's circumference is 55 millimeter. So I'm going to draw a rectangle from the curve menu. And this is the rectangle. Let me change, move the zoom sidebar a little bit. Okay. So this is the rectangle. I'm going to click on the center on the command bar, and then after click on the F4 for center of the rectangle, and type 55 equals to the circumference of the ring rail. 55, and for the width, I'm going to have something like 13, 14 mm. And this is the flattened ring. I'm going to turn off the layer of the ring rail and maximize the top viewport and draw a line, single line from the mid of the rectangle. I'm going to change the color of the layer to see it better. And you can even lock it. So we have a small horizontal line here. And also for bottom side of the ring, let me show you the render. This is what I want to do. And for the bottom of the ring, I'm going to have something like 6 millimeter width for this side. So draw a single line again from the mid of the left side of the rectangle, and then both sides, and click on 3, hold the shift to have a vertical line and another horizontal line from the end of the bottom of the ring. So right now I'm going to have the blend curve, which is dynamic in matrix line, and it's very useful. Click on the blend curve and click on the near of here and also in here. So in the blend curve command, I'm going to turn on the flip first curve and flip second curve to have a smooth curve like this. Also, you can change the blend amount as you wish to change the blend of the amount of the blending. Something like this is pretty good for me. And then I press enter. So I'm going to get rid of these two curves because I don't need them anymore, and mirror this curve from F4. I hold the shift and then join these two curves together. I'm going to turn on the control points. You know, for each curve, the control points, it's playing a very important role. So when you join in two curves, you will have a fracture kink or control point here. You can see when I move this point, the curve gonna be sharp. We have a sharpness here. So I'm going to delete, delete this one. Even you can scale 1D using the gumball to have more smooth and more dumb curve here as you wish. And then I'm going to mirror this curve from F4 again to the bottom side. And also this one as well, from left side to right side. I'm gonna select all of them and then joining them using the join command. But it didn't join. So I have a closed curve here right now. So simply I go to the solid menu. I'm doing it in the easiest way and do the extrude command. The only thing you should see in the extrude command, you have to turn on the solid and turn off the both sides. And I put 2.5 millimeter in here, command bar, 2.5. So we have a closed polysurface like this. Next step is I'm going to draw a line again from F4 with a different color, for example, green, from F4 to the end of the midpoint of the rectangle. The reason I draw this curve is to find the midpoint of this green curve to split the whole ring. Then again, I need another line, and I'm going to find the midpoint of this line and draw a line in both sides vertical using holding the shift. And then I'm going to mirror it from F4 again to have it in other side. Right now I'm selecting the whole body and make it split from these two curves and changing the color layer of the body. This is where this ring gonna be twisting. This is exactly here. So I just splitted the top of the ring from the shank, and I have 50% here and 50% on the top. Okay, so I'm going to turn off these two body and click on the main body. I'm going to transform and using the twist command, which is, again, it's converted to dynamic commands, which is very useful. And click on the twist. In twist command, as you can see in here, it's you just need to select a side. You don't need to have to draw any axis anymore. Before we should have draw some curves to make it as an axis. You just need to select this side. You can see, you can highlight this side. Then you will see the options. There is an angle option, there is an initial point, final point, infinite axis, preserve structure, and rigid. I'm going to put 180° on the angle and hit enter. And as you can see, I have the twisted shape, very smooth and very beautiful. If I turn on the yellow layer to see the rest of the ring, you can see there is no any smooth edges. When you want to connect these two parts, you see in the ring, it's very smooth and very curvy. If you turn off the infinite axis option, you will see it's gonna be very smooth and nice. See? You need only turn off the infinite axis command and hit enter. Right now I have the whole rings, but it's not the ring, it's flat. I'm going to extract duplicate edge, all the edges to have a one shape. So using in the curve menu, I'm going to have a from object toolbar, and I select duplicate edge. I change the color of the layer, and I will select all the edges one by one like this, because I'm going to work with the control points to have a very beautiful shape, twisted shape. Okay, when you select all of them, you can click on enter and immediately click on join. To join, you can see it in the command bar, 12 curves, join it into 4 open curves. And I'm going to hide this shape. Right now, I just turn on the control points on these 4 curves using the control points on. And you can see in the area which twisted, there is too many control points. And with the area it was extruded, it's less than control points. And if you want to work with the control points and adjust your model, you need a few less minimum control points you need always. It's very important. So I'm gonna select these 4 curves and going to tool menu and using the rebuild command, click on rebuild. And in this area, I'm clicking, as you can see, there is 184 control points and I'm put here 12 and 5 degree, I make it to degree 3 and hit enter. And right now, if I turn on the control points, you can see there is minimum control points maintained. I maintained the shape of the curves, but reduced the control points. The next step, is it okay till now? Everything? Okay.
It's amazing, Saeed.
Okay.
We love it. So
okay. I'm going to select this for 2x2 curves and using the loft command in the surface toolbar here, 2x2. The reason I'm doing this, I want to see the surfaces. Before that, let me hide these curves. It's easier to see them. I'm going to hide all of them. I'm going to select 2x2 and make loft command. You should do it 4 times to have 4 different surfaces. So right now you will have a very smooth and single surface instead of poly surface. And it's always important to have a single surface. Whenever you can have a single surface, you should have it. You should make it a poly surface to single surface. When you have a single surface, you can simply do whatever you want. You can convert it to Clayoo or T-splines before. You can rebuild it. You can, for making layers and patterns, yes, single surface is always very important.
Or even if you want to extrude, sorry, Saeed, even if you want to abstract an iso curve, then you have just one subface and to place all the stones. If you have different faces, then it's always more difficult. So
exactly. The important thing in this step is to not joining these curves, these surfaces. I'm just making them group and change the color layer. So I can see the curves and I can see the poly surface. I'm going to turn on the ring rail. And also I'm going to draw a line from F4 with both sides to the end of the rectangle. So if I do it, I want to use the flow line curve command in transform menu. I go to the flow and click on the flow. And as you know, there's 2 kinds of flow, line surface and a line curve. Here we can use a line curve. I select the body and select line curve. And it needs the base curve, which is this horizontal line. And the command bars mention it, select near one end. So I'm gonna click here and then target curve, select near matching end. I'm gonna click here. And as you can see now, it's vice versa. And it's upside down. So it's because the seam point of each curve. So I'm going to change the seam point of the ring rail from the top to the bottom. And I'm going to use in the curve menu, there is a edit tools toolbar, and in the sub toolbar, there is a adjust closed curve seam. So simply you can change the seam. As you know, each circle, there's a paper here. If I make it something like two. These two connected edges, we call it here seam. And each closed curve have a seam. So you can simply change the seam point of each closed curve. So I'm going to select on the, where was it? Here. And as you can see, the seam point here is in the 12 o'clock. I simply click on it and drag it to the 6 o'clock here and hit enter. And do it the flow line curve again. I'm going to select it. And the recent comment in MatrixGold is amazing because in upper right side of the monitor, so there is a flow line curve. You don't need to go to the transform menu to find it. It's very handy and useful, the recent comments. I click the flow line curve, base curve here, and target here. And right now, as you can see, it's good and it's okay. I'm going to hide the flat body to see it, the ring. As you can see now, the big part of the ring, it comes inside of the ring rail. So we don't have any ring rail here. So from now, I'm going to work and play with the control points to adjust my model. Playing and working with control points, it's always very, very important to have very smooth and relaxed surfaces. As you can see in the Mobius strip, sort of this is the rendered with MatrixGold. There is very, very smooth and relaxed points and surfaces. And that's why, because of the fewer control points, it's a big and the first rule. As much as you have the fewer control points, you have smoother and nicer surfaces. This is the first step and first rule. And that's why I always reduce the count, the amount of control points. So I just turn on the points, and thanks to the history, Matrix and Rhino history, MG and Rhino history, if I change these control points and move it up, you can see, you can simply change the shape of your ring because I didn't join any surfaces and all things are in the history, under the history right now. So these two curves must be something like flat. So I'm going to move these two curves upper, and it's important to select all four curves at the same times and using the gumball. And you can see I'm seeing the ring rail here, and also these two curves together. I'll move it up. It's going to be better. A little bit more. I'm going to select, hold the shift key. If you want to select points one by one, always, you need to hold the shift on your keyboard. It's good now. Also, this curve from left and right, I'm going to make it flatten. I'll also turn on. Yes.
Sorry, I think that it's also worth to mention here that you are working now in MatrixGold. We have the history from the dynamic comments, but we also have the history from Rhino. That is actually what you are using now. And at the bottom part, for any user here, you can see, everyone can see that you have the record history tick. So if you look at the bottom bar, you have the record history tick. This is something that I like to mention because
yes. Thank you so much for reminding me. The recorded history option should be turned on, and also record history and update children should be turned on. So whenever you have work with history, you change each point, you will gonna see the result immediately. So I'm going to flatten these two curves, and also for the bottom of the ring, this is 2.5 because I extrude the 2.5. And for the bottom of the ring, it's too much and it makes the ring too heavy. And also when you want to when you want to bend your fingers, if it's too much, it's bother your finger. So that's why in most of the models, we are using from 1 to 1.5 mm, maximum 1.7 or 6. I'm going to select these 2 points at the same time, not just only the last one. And also these 2 points at the same time to maintain the tangent surface. And I will reduce it a little bit more. As you can see, we have a, if we go to the perspective and see here, we have a deformed surface here. That's because I didn't turn on these 2 curves as well, control points. So because it's twisted shape and it's a little bit complicated surface, so you need to turn on all 4 control points together and see these 2 and these 2, and move it a little bit down. So you can see when I'm working and playing with control points, another trick is making undo and redo. When you make undo and redo repeatedly, you will see the change. And if you're happy with what you did, okay, you can go further. If you are very not happy, you can make undo and do another things, okay? And also these 2 curves, I make a little bit down. So right now it's not bad. And also this one and this one, you can see we have a small issue here. Right now it's solved. And even you can go in the 4 view, and also especially in perspective, I'm always making something like in render it, and to see the shape. If I'm happy with the result, okay, I go to next step. Right now I'm seeing it's a little bit too tall here. So you can simply select these 4 control points from the front viewport and move them down to reduce the height of the ring. You see, it's very easy. Something like 4 or 5 mm. It's a fashion ring, sort of fashion ring, so it's okay. Even you can do a Sculpt 1D, these 2 curves, so you will have a thicker surface on the top of the ring in case if you want to put some gemstones.
Yeah, just with all the controls that you have, Said, you have a lot of power to make any shape. So
Exactly.
now you have the total control on this ring.
And also the last issue I'm seeing on this ring, we have a little bit hard edge here, sharp edge, see? So if I turn on the control points, and I need to find which one belongs to this area. So I think one of these or this on the top. If you are not sure, simply you can move 2 of them and you can see the result. So if they are your points, you can use them. If they are not, you can simply undo them. So I'm going to select this one. For example, this one with the points in other side, and making a little bit Sculpt 1D. See here, was something like this, and it's now like this, or another one, this one, with the other one on the other side. Okay, I do a Sculpt 1D a little bit more. So it was a little bit too sharpy. And when I reduced I changed the place of these control points, it's okay now. Okay, so whenever you are happy with the control points, you can turn it off. Usually we are working with control points for hours because it's the foundation of your ring. It's the foundation of your design. And if you want to have a very smooth and very nice surface, you need to be more experienced at working with control points. It's very important. So I'm happy
And
with
say,
this. Yes.
and sorry, say that I like what you're saying, because we built in MatrixGold the dynamic comments that are tools that at the end of the day, what we are using in the background is what you are saying, all these control points, all these lines, and we are making the dynamic comments. But when it's time to do something as specific as you are doing here, I really like what you are telling today, because we are showing everyone how to have the, as you said, the foundation of this software.
Exactly. Okay, I'm doing final touches in the ring. And then we go to the next step. We'll go to the next step. Is it okay now? For now, it's okay. And I will going to turn off all the control points. And also, unlike the rectangle, I don't need them anymore. And I'm going to the front viewport and draw a line, something like 45-degree, and mirror it from the F4. I'm going to join these two together. And before that, it's grouped surfaces. I will ungroup and hit join. When you do it join, for the listeners I'm talking, if you do it join, the first control points, you break the history, and if you change the control points from that to main control points, it doesn't update anymore. So it's very important to not making join the surfaces. It was just grouped. Okay. So I'm going to split this ring to make it hollow, because it's very heavy right now. Where is the split here? And with these two curves, so I will have a red bottom of the ring and the top. I'm going to ungroup it, hide it, and do the cap planner from solid menu. And this is the cap planner to make it closed polysurface. And right now I want to make a shell. I do the shell, select the shell command. And for this kind of ring, this is a plain gold. There's no any gems on this ring. So when we talk about the wall thickness of the gold, it depends on you want to do a direct casting, you want to make the rubber mold, what kind of diamonds or gems you have in your rings, and it depends on the diamond setting method. You can increase or decrease the wall thickness of the gold. Right now, I do the 0.40, or even right now in the world, they use 35 mm, 0.35 mm to making a shell to wall thickness because of the gold price. If you want to 18K gold or 14K gold, right now in the Middle East, in Europe, for the economic crisis, you know, for COVID-19 crisis, all the manufacturers, gold and jewelry manufacturers, they try to have a big shape with the minimum metal weight. And it's very important to have the minimum metal weight. So I do 0.35 right now with some companies in Turkey and also in Iran, also in Italy, they are working with 25 mm, which is very, very thin. It's not very good, because when you press on the ring or make a little bit pressure with your two fingers, it's gonna be deformed. You know what I'm saying? I remember 15 years ago, we did wall thickness 0.1 millimeter. After 2 years, 0.80. After 3 years, 0.70, 60, 50, 20. And it's crazy. Okay, I select these two surface.
And this is thanks to the new technology. A few years ago, to have this, but today we have a printing and casting machines that we are able to do that.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly,
it's
exactly,
amazing.
exactly. I select these two surfaces to make a hollow and click enter. And as you can see, it's all empty inside, and we have a wall here and a wall here. Because this surface, 50% of this surface you are seeing from top of the ring, and another 50% of surface you are seeing in the bottom of the ring. And it's very important you cannot simply make the hollow from the bottom side of the ring because it's twisted. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I did like this. Okay, so I will, next step is going to extract surface. I want to extract one surface using the extract surface in the solid menu. In the extract surface options in the command bar, I click on the copy from no to yes to have a copy surface. And I click on this surface to have a extracted one, change the color of the layer. I'm going to make it in the blue, for example. This is the surface which we want to have a pattern for making the lace and open it. Because of the casting, if I join these two polysurface together, it comes again filled with gold. So we need to have it, open work and lace, open lace here and here. So I'm gonna select on this surface, the red one. You can simply lock the other one and click on the split command. Where is it? Here. And when you're selecting a single surface, there is an option in the split command, which is ISO curve. So it will give you a virtual ISO curve. So you don't need to draw a line, and after that, just fewer clicks and more speed. So I click on the ISO curve, and I'm going to change the layer as well to see, you can see the yellow ISO curve here. So in here, if there is it's a clock, here is 12 o'clock. I'm going to from 12 o'clock to something near 1 o'clock here and click on the split. Oops, I think
You
because
just
of
yeah, this is the connection. You just need to go to the launcher and launch again, and everything will go back where you were.
okay, this is because of my
yeah, just launch
internet
again.
connection. Okay, I did launch
and you
it.
will, and you should no just do a, even if you do a log out and log back, you yeah, just go to where it's, oh yeah, that's ready.
Okay, that's it. That's it. You know, here the internet connection is, we have some difficulties here. Okay, so I did not save my model as always. I will
yeah, but
save
it's good. It's good to say, and this is a good occasion to say that when this happens, if you log in as you did, you recover what you were working with.
Okay.
In case that you have 5 minutes to do that. In case that you don't recover during these 5 minutes, the next time that you launch the software again,
yes, they ask it asks you
exactly
to recover
you
the
will have
file.
a pop-up window that it is asking you, do you want to keep working with what you were working? So look, I'm glad that this happened to you, so we can tell everyone that there is this
yes,
this workflow.
As long as you don't get the rhino crash, you're good.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a red surface here, which we want to do a pattern on here. I'm going to change this layer as well and hide it, and hide the ring rail and get rid of these two curves to see it better. I'm going to, I need a curve around this surface. So I'm going to curve toolbar and also from object and select on duplicate border to have a border around the surface. And then I use offset on surface command to offset this curve inside this surface. The reason I'm doing this, it's you always need to have a width plain gold here, because these patterns there should not be very, very near of the edge of the ring because of the filing and polishing and casting the gold. And it's very technical and important to have an offset here. And also for making Boolean difference and making lace here like this, we need to have a plane surface here. So I'm going to have something like 0.8 or 0.9 of mm, 0.90 mm. And from this edge to here, 80 or 9. Usually, if it's not twisted, you can have 0.50, 0.60, but because it's twisted and it's complicated surface, I did it for 0.90 or 80. I'm going to use a very beautiful command in MG, which called it Jewellery. I like this command. It helps you to do more in less time, in few seconds. Yeah, I really like it. The Jewellery commands lets you to make pattern on any surfaces you want in a very nice and smooth way. And there is too many options in this command. Simply, you need to have a surface here. And when you click on the pattern window, you will see very nice and beautiful patterns here, which Gemvision guys did it and spent too much time to do it. Thank you so much. Plus,
and these are path files. So sometimes people is asking us if they want to add their own Jolly. This can also be done. So the only thing that you need to do is find another software to create a path file, and then you can import it into this library and use it later on in your surface.
Sorry, more. Okay, I'm in here. When you want to do some lace works, you will have two kind of, let me find it, the picture. You will, it's always better to have the negative space, to make negative space and make the difference from the ring. So you will have a one part object at the end. And that's why I'm going to find a closet form shape like this, number 23, and I click on it and hit select. And as you can see, we have too many lozenges here, rectangular or diamond shaped lozenges. They are very small at first. I'm going to increase the amount of scale option in the Jewellery command. One step more. It's still a little bit small for a ring, for a leaning, and this side looks good for me, or even this side is good for casting. This side and this, and you can simply do it. I'm going to select this one because it's a little bit more beautiful and hit enter. So right now I'm going to have the curve. The reason I offset this curve, I need to maintain and have this lozenge, and I'm going to get rid of this curve and select all of them. It takes less than a minute or something like 2 minutes to trim around these curves and get rid of the extra lines. Before I'm doing that, it's always better when you do the lace shapes using any surface, any softwares. It's always better especially in MG and Matrix. I'm going to do a pullback surface in the, to make sure all of these patterns, it's laid down on the surface. So I'm going to, from objects and select pullback, just make sure the delete input option is on or yes here, and click on this surface. It's locked. I unlock it, this surface, and enter. Right now, everything is okay. I'm selecting all the curves here and click on the trim command. And I start from here. I want to have the lozenge or diamonds here. So I'm going to get rid of the curves between the lozenge, like here, here, and here. And also, so it's not so hard, and I always have fun when trimming.
And when you're using the window selection, you go pretty fast. Sometimes people think, oh, I need to go one by one, but when you use the window selection as you are doing now, actually it's pretty fast.
And yeah. Oops. If the most important thing, if you accidentally trim a curve which we didn't want to, you can use the undo option in the trim instead of controlling using the undo command, because the undo command undoes all you did. There is another important gold casting things is when you're making some lace patterns, you're gonna have some small patterns like here. And it's not good for casting if it was less than 0.40 or half a millimeter, 1 millimeter, half 1 millimeter. And that's why in these cases, we will delete these shapes as well, because after the casting and after the polishing, it just looks like a teeny hole.
And Bo, probably you can talk about this from when you were in CAD-CAM, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Those tiny holes, man. They
yeah, tiny holes. You have to get rid of them.
Yeah. And if not, they'll blow out, whenever you're casting, or they'll fill in unexpectedly, and you have to take care of them.
Okay. I just click on the hit enter after finishing the trim and do the drawing command. There is a very important thing when you're doing like this. And if you see in the command bar, it says 183 curves joined into 40 closed and 11 open curves. So maybe when you're doing this, there should be some small teeny curves. What I'm doing in these cases, I just simply type open curves. So there is a little bit small curves here, which they are very small, so I cannot see it even. Again, so open curve, you see the gumball here. So there is something here, and I click delete it. And for making sure I have 40 closed curves, I do sometimes like this. I select all of them. I click on the explode and click on the join again. And you should not see any open curves here, message here. And you see in the command bar, it says there is only 40 closed curves. So it's okay. That's it. Okay. So I'm going to turn on this single surface and click on the split and click all these curves or select it from the layer and click on this big surface and delete it. And as you can see, we have a very beautiful lozenge pattern here. And I select all the surfaces, go to the surface menu and offset surface and do the offset surface. Just make sure the both sides option is turned on the yes and also solid yes. And how many wall thickness we did in the shell command, which was 35. I do it a little bit more, something 35, I do it 40 in offset surface. So it's not gonna make any problem when you're doing Boolean difference or something.
Yeah, we don't want any planar surface, right?
Yes, yes. And I'm going to make it rotate and copy 100 degree to have it in the other side as well. And turn the unlock it. You can see the 0.5 mm extra. You can see it here. Okay. And simply I go to the solid, and the Boolean difference is dynamic now. It's very funny and very nice. I click on the Boolean difference and select second surface, this red poly surfaces, and hit on the enter. It takes a little bit time because there are too many red patterns, something like 5 to 10 seconds to do the Boolean. It shows you in MG. I like it. It's just like the SolidWorks software before. It shows you the preview.
And sometimes something that people sometimes is wondering, how do I know if the command is running? If you move the cursor, the mouse into your right, the cursor keeps spinning. So it is telling you that everything,
exactly.
the operations are still happening. That's right.
Yes, and I hit enter. And it gives me, when I turn off this and also the red one, gives me a beautiful pattern here, as you can see. When you turn the ring in upside, you don't see any lace and pattern. And when you see in the bottom, you will see the patterns, which helps you for casting, for filing or magnet polishing. The teeny magnets pieces gets out from this lace easily. And I will turn on the rest of the ring. Where was it? Which color I put it? Here? No, it's here. In here. And also you can, I changed the layer from here. This is open poly surface. So simply I click on the cap planner to make it closed poly surface. And in the last step, you can do the Boolean union, which is dynamic again from this object. First, press enter, and second one, press enter. And when you see like this, it's successfully done. That's it.
Amazing.
That's really it.
Amazing. And Saeed, we didn't get many messages, and the reason why is because I believe that everyone was super excited watching you designing. So
I know I was sitting there like,
did you like it, Bo? Did you like it, Oria?
oh yeah,
I love it. I love it. I mean,
we do have one question for you, Saeed. Tina is asking when the English version of your book will be available.
We are converting to MatrixGold because it was for M9. We are converted to MatrixGold, and there is something like 5,000 images we have to open and redesign all the models inside the book and make screenshots and take it to the Photoshop, and then InDesign software make paste. I put 4 of my designers, 4 people that are working from morning to afternoon for this one. And then we give it to the Gemvision, and Gemvision can give it to the license owners of the book, and also everyone can buy it. There will be the digital version and also printed version.
Nice.
No, it's amazing, and
more than 700 pages.
Do you have an estimated date of?
It's very hard.
Bo is pressing you, Saeed.
For
he
the
was
first
so
one,
impressed with the.
Well, there's two sorts of book 1 and book 2. For the book 1, yes, I think in the end of the July or maybe August, in the end of the August, let's say we can have it.
Gotcha.
Got
that
July, August.
Yeah. As
Yes,
far as the
and
model, I love it. I think, you know, a lot of people in MatrixGold kind of get focused on solely using parametric commands, which parametric commands are absolutely great, but
yes,
it's also good to know the fundamental commands as well, you know, and
yes, and it some tricks, you know, when you're using the twist command, it's give you a very smooth form. And the last thing for the having a good render, it's always good to make sharp edge a little bit fillet edge. So I'm going to the last things I'm going to do. We have a time?
Yeah, I mean, I believe that people can stay for hours just watching you, so don't worry.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I do something like 0.20 or 0.15 and click on chain edge and click on this edge. And also this one. Let me see why it does. Oops. Okay, again. Fillet edge and chain edge, and I click one curve and the next one, and also here. You can see this complicated curve. It's turn it around the model. You see, we have a nice fillet here and another one, chain edge, and the same amount. And here, okay, fine. And that's it. That's really it. And you have a very smooth and nice surface here.
that's
Very
very
nice.
nice.
I mean, yeah, I really like it.
And let me show you the render.
Boy, I think that after the meeting that we had on Monday with Saeed, we were expecting something like that. But for everyone who was attending this webinar today, I think that has been a very, very good session.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is the production model in my hand. And also you can do in bangles. You see there are bangles. You can do it in make it filigree and make it with pipes. You can do many models. And as you can see here, it's twice 360-degree twisted in the twist command, and you can have the stripped lines. You can do the pave diamonds here, gems here, like this one. See, this one done in M9. But
nice.
it's easier. It's easier, totally easier in MG.
We have some questions also asking about, can we have pave command in parametric? So we already have the pave here that probably, as you were working with surfaces, Saeed, if you would like to place a pave in the main surface, probably you would be trimming a surface and then using this surface to place a pave. Look, many times when I'm traveling around the world, people is asking me, can we have a pave command parametric? And a pave parametric is hard to have. And the reason why is because depending on how big the surface is, if you have a surface and then you make it bigger and you want to recalculate it parametrically, from our side, from the software side, we don't know which stones do you want to add to this bigger surface. If we do it automatically, I don't know if you want to fill this surface with, I don't know, 1.3 stones or 1.5 stones. So what we think from the development side is we need to make a tool to make paves as easy as we can so that in just few clicks you get a pave. So in case that you need to redo and have a bigger surface, you just run again the pave tool, and instead being parametric, make a very, very easy tool to place the pave.
Yeah, let me add something about the pave in the MG. If I want to compare it with the auto pave in M9 and MG, in MG, it's much more better and easier because when you do it pave, the first thing it's make it. I don't know what happens behind under the command, but it's give you more precise stones. And also the good things is when you do the stones in pave command, you can simply move which stones you don't want, and also you can rescale one by one and it's still, you are still in the command, and it's very good.
Yeah, and look, and we're still getting a lot of feedback about the pavé, and for sure that is because we know that there are countries that they are using a lot, that we will keep improving it.
So Saeed, someone is asking, is your school online or is it?
Yes, we do online. We do online courses. We started the online courses since 4 years ago, not because of the COVID-19, because all of the schools, they changed all classes from the lab class to online class because of the social distance and also the problem which COVID-19's did for the schools.
Is there an English version as well?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have some few English courses. It's 1-by-1 live courses, just like now, which I'm talking with you. We have very few small courses, not too many courses, and because I don't have too many English instructors in my team. Is it just me? It's just me and one other. But yes, we have some online courses.
Awesome. I can't wait to see what this does whenever they post it on social media. Or
Yeah, I was thinking the same. So we have our marketing colleague Yzette, that if she has seen that, tomorrow first thing in the morning she will be publishing it for sure.
Good. I'm happy to hear that.
Oh.
So Saeed, thank you so much, man. I think that it has been a very, very good session. I really enjoyed how you have shown the whole process. So we are lucky to be talking with you and have all that you are showing us. So I always like, today actually I was having a meeting with our company, and I was telling them that sometimes we talk a lot about the software, but it's good to let everyone know what is the whole process from the sketch to the CAD design and then printing and casting. So today I feel like you have been showing us this whole process. So thank you so much for that. Has been a very, very interesting session.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much, Oriel, for having me. I hope we will have again, do some webinars.
Oh, I have no doubt. It was a pleasure watching you work. So thank you for that. So
you're welcome, buddy.
All right. Well, Oriel, thank you. You want to take us away?
Yes, thank you so much, everyone. We will be posting this video and all the information related to Saeed in this video. So everyone who's interested with Saeed, his school, or anything, all the information will be there. And Saeed, again, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to have you in our environment. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hope to see you guys in person, not in the computers after the crisis ends.
Hey, all right, guys, take it easy.
Thank you so much.